Level 1, the zero viewer. You go live for the first time, and the number in the corner says 0. Not low, not small, 0. Like the internet itself is politely pretending you don't exist. Your setup is a laptop that sounds like it's trying to take off, a $23 headset microphone, and a webcam that turns your face into a grainy hostage video. You've got OBS open with 3 scenes: starting soon, be right back, and ending. You spent 2 hours making them. Nobody will see them. You title the stream something optimistic: chill late night grind, come hang. You hit go live and immediately sit up straighter, like posture can summon an audience. For the first 10 minutes, you narrate everything. You explain your strategy. You describe your keybinds. You apologize when you mess up. You thank people who aren't there. You say chat even though there is no chat. You glance at the viewer count every 30 seconds. You tell yourself you're just checking your bitrate. You are lying to yourself, and you know it. An hour in, 1 person joins. The number flips from 0 to 1, and your brain lights up like you just got accepted into a better life. You say, "Hey, what's up?" too loudly. The viewer leaves. You pretend it didn't hurt. It did. You stream for 3 hours anyway because you promised yourself you would. When you end the stream, you sit in silence, listening to the hum of your laptop fan, and you feel embarrassed in a very specific way. Embarrassed that you tried. You do it again the next day, and the next. You become familiar with the quiet. You learn what boredom sounds like when it's wearing your own voice. This is the first level, the level where you build a habit in public while nobody is watching, the level where you learn the hardest rule of streaming. Effort doesn't create attention. Attention creates meaning. Level 2, the one-name regular. At some point, you start seeing a username you recognize. It's the same person every night, joining 5 minutes after you go live. They type "yo" in chat like they're clocking in. You stop performing and start talking like a person. You ask about their day. They ask about yours. You learn they're in a different time zone. They're avoiding homework, or a breakup, or their own quiet apartment. You're not famous. You're not even a streamer in the way people mean it. But you are now a place someone goes. That changes the feeling of the room. You adjust your schedule around them without admitting it. You go live a little earlier. You stay on a little longer. You tell yourself it's for consistency. It's not. It's because one human being there makes you feel real. Then a second name appears, and a third. They don't arrive all at once. They trickle in like rainwater finding cracks. You get your first inside joke, your first recurring question, your first person who says, "I missed yesterday's stream, what happened?" You clip something small, an accidental win, a funny fail, a line you didn't plan, and you post it. It gets 312 views, which is nothing to the internet, but to you it feels like a flare shot into the sky. You start saying "we" instead of "I." You say, "We're trying a new build tonight." You say, "We almost had that." You say it like you believe you have a team. Level 3, the affiliate, the first proof. One day you hit the requirements: enough hours, enough average viewers, enough followers. The platform sends a clean, emotionless email. You're eligible for affiliate. You read it 3 times. You take a screenshot. You send it to someone who doesn't understand what it means, but congratulates you anyway. Now you have subscriptions, emotes, bits, a tiny monetization panel that makes your channel look like a business. Even though you're still streaming from a chair that squeaks every time you shift your weight. Your first sub happens on a random Tuesday. The alert sound plays and you panic because you forgot you set the sound. It's too loud. It's a meme. It's awful. You keep it forever. You say thank you 5 different ways. You promise nothing will change. Something has already changed. You have crossed into the dangerous zone, where streaming stops being purely a hobby and starts becoming a scoreboard. You check your dashboard more than you check your messages. You learn what your average viewers are at 1 a.m. You learn which game loses you people. You learn which topics make chat go quiet. You tell yourself you won't chase numbers. Then you start planning your life around peak hours, like your body is an employee. You get your first donation, $2, with a message that says, keep going. After fees, it's basically nothing, but you stare at it like it's evidence of destiny. Level 4, the growth trap. Here's what nobody tells you. The moment you get momentum, you start living inside fear. Fear of losing it, fear of taking a night off, fear that the one regular will get bored and disappear, and the room will go back to being quiet. You try new overlays, you buy a better mic, you convince yourself the difference between you and the big streamers is one upgrade away. It isn't. But the upgrades are comforting because they feel like control. You start saying big things coming because you don't know how else to explain that you're working hard without results yet. You start hinting at goals, 50 subs, 100 subs, a new camera, a new PC. And then, on a night when you almost didn't go live, someone raids you. Not a huge raid, a small one, 30 people. But it hits like a storm. Chat moves faster than you can read. Your heart starts doing that stupid hopeful thing again. You laugh too much. You sit up too straight. You become the best version of yourself for strangers you might never see again. Some of them stay. Most of them leave. But the taste of it, what it felt like to have a room full of people, sticks to your brain. And now, you want the next level. You need the next level. Because once you've seen the door, going back to the hallway feels unbearable. Level 5, the partner. You hit partner on a Thursday afternoon while you're microwaving leftovers. The email lands like it's casual, like it's not about to rearrange your entire personality. You don't celebrate the way you thought you would. You just stare at the screen and feel a quiet, tense relief. Like you've been holding your breath for 2 years and only now noticed. You post the announcement. People spam emotes. Your regulars type paragraphs. Someone says, I've been here since the 0 viewer days. They're not lying. You remember their first yo. You remember how much that one word mattered. Now you have better discoverability, higher ad splits, more legitimacy. You also have a new invisible rule. You can't be small anymore. Not emotionally, not in your own head. Because partner makes people treat you like you've made it, even though your rent still doesn't care. You stream the next day and the vibe is different. There are more strangers, more lurkers, more people who don't know the inside jokes. You find yourself explaining things you used to just live inside. You hire your first mods, not hire with money, hire with trust. 2 people from your chat get a blue sword and suddenly they're responsible for keeping your room clean. They delete slurs, they time out weirdos, they ban a guy who keeps asking if you're single, like it's a normal question to ask a person you've never met. You realize your channel is no longer just content. It's a tiny society, and every society has problems. Level 6, the schedule prison. Consistency used to be a strategy, now it's handcuffs. If you stream 4 days a week, you start thinking in 4s. If you take 1 day off, you feel like you stole from your own future. Your brain turns rest into guilt. You go live when you're tired. You go live when you're sick. You go live on your birthday because it'll be fun. And you smile for 3 hours while your phone fills with messages you can't answer. The viewer count becomes a mood ring. When it's up, you feel lovable. When it's down, you feel like you're fading. You tell yourself you're above that. You're not. Nobody is. You start optimizing. You learn your strongest hour. You learn what day your audience dips. You learn which game brings new people, and which game only your core community tolerates because they like you, not the content. You do the math you promised you wouldn't do. Average viewers, subs, gifted subs, payout dates. You become the kind of person who knows exactly what a CPM is and hates that they know. Level 7, the clip farmer. You realize something painful. Live streaming doesn't discover you. Clips do. So you start engineering moments, not faking them, just nudging reality. You play games that create reactions. You tell stories you know will land. You tease opinions like you're baiting a fish. You post short-form content every day. You learn the rhythm of captions. You learn which facial expressions get replayed. You learn that the internet loves your excitement more than your skill. a clip pops off. Not viral like a movie star. Viral like your phone starts buzzing and doesn't stop for an hour. 240,000 views, then 900,000. Then some guy on another platform reposts it with your face cropped out. And that one gets 3 million. You feel proud for about 12 minutes. Then you feel angry in a way you can't explain to anyone who hasn't built something out of nothing. It's your moment, and it isn't yours at all. Still, people arrive. Your chat fills with new names. Some are sweet, some are loud. Some treat you like a character they're entitled to control. You get your first hate thread. Someone makes a compilation of you mispronouncing words. It's not even malicious, it's just content. You laugh the first time, the 10th time you don't. Level 8, the money that isn't money. Brand emails show up. Real ones, not "we'll pay you in exposure" ones. A company offers you $750 to mention their product for 60 seconds. You practice the ad read like it's theater. You say the same sentence 5 times trying to make it sound spontaneous. You do the sponsorship. Chat spams, sell out. Someone else gifts 10 subs and says, "get the bag." Both comments hit you in the same sore spot. Because the truth is, the money helps, but it doesn't stabilize you. Streaming money is lumpy. Some months you feel rich. Some months you feel like you hallucinated the whole career. You learn about taxes the scary way. You get a letter, you open it too fast. Your stomach drops. You spend the next week learning words you should have learned earlier. Quarterly estimates, write-offs, self-employment. You buy a second monitor and tell yourself it's a business expense. It is. You also buy takeout at 2 a.m. 3 times a week and pretend it's a business expense because you were working. It isn't. Level 9, the parasocial line. The community gets closer. Too close. People start treating your stream like a group chat where you're the main character. They ask where you were when you missed a day. They ask what happened to your ex. They ask if you're okay, but in a way that feels like they're collecting data. One night, a viewer donates $100 and writes a message that's not just supportive, it's possessive. Your mods delete it. You keep your face neutral. Your heart doesn't. After stream, you sit in the dark with the monitors off. The room is quiet and you realize something. You built a door into your life, and now you're not sure how to close it without losing everything that came through it. You tell yourself, you just need to grow bigger. Bigger means safer. Bigger means distance. Bigger means you can finally breathe. Level 10, the platform powerhouse. You wake up and your first instinct is not coffee. It's not the bathroom, it's the dashboard. Because the channel isn't a channel anymore. It's payroll, it's contracts, it's deadlines, it's expectations. It's a living thing that eats attention and spits out numbers. And those numbers decide how safe you get to feel this month. You have a team now, not a "my friends help me" team. A real team. An editor on retainer. 2 moderators who are basically community managers. A brand manager who negotiates your rates. An accountant who texts you reminders you hate. A part-time clipper who turns your life into vertical videos. You sign an agreement with a talent agency. The contract is 19 pages long and somehow still doesn't capture the weirdness of your job. It says things like appearance fee and exclusivity window and morals clause, like you're a walking liability. You move apartments, not because you want luxury, because you want walls that don't share sound with strangers. You want a door that feels like a boundary. You want an address that isn't public knowledge after one leak. You build a studio, not a cute LED strip setup. A studio, sound panels, a dedicated camera, a streaming PC that costs $4,200, a backup internet line, a UPS battery, because you learned the hard way that one power flicker can kill a sponsorship segment and cost you $5,000. The first time you realize you've become big is not when you hit a follower milestone. It's when you go live late, without tweeting, without posting, without telling anyone, just to test something, and 7,000 people show up anyway. That number doesn't feel like joy. It feels like weather. something larger than you that you can't negotiate with. Streaming at this level is not about hours, it's about moments. You start planning streams like episodes, you build arcs, you tease future content. You say, tomorrow we're doing something different, even when you're exhausted, because anticipation is a stronger hook than quality. You collaborate with other big creators. Some are genuinely kind, some are friendly in public and cold in private. You learn the unspoken math. Everyone is watching everyone else's numbers the way gamblers watch cards. You get invited to events, brand trips, game launches, private screenings, parties where everyone is recording, but no one admits it. You walk into a room and people smile a little too quickly, like your face is a credential. Your chat starts acting like an army. They defend you when someone criticizes you. They attack people who make jokes about you. They clip your response and send it everywhere like it's proof you're winning a war you didn't enlist in. You try to control it. You can't. You can ask them to stop. They will say they're doing it for you. They will keep doing it anyway. It happens on a normal night. You're tired. You're a little sharper than usual. You say something half-formed, something that sounds fine in a 2-hour stream and insane in a 10-second clip. Someone posts it. The clip goes everywhere. 20 million views, then 30. Then it crosses into rooms you've never been in. News accounts, commentary channels, people using your face as an example of whatever argument they already wanted to make. Your inbox floods with opinions from strangers who have never watched you. They don't hate you. They hate the version of you they built from a sentence. Your brand manager calls it a situation. Your agency calls it a cycle. Your friends call it unfair. Your gut calls it what it is, loss of control. You film a response. You record it 6 times. You choose the version where your tone is calm and your eyes look sincere. You hate that you know how to do that. It works, sort of. The internet moves on. It always does. But something in you doesn't move on. Something in you starts speaking more carefully, laughing more carefully, being more careful. And the tragedy is, your audience can feel it. They don't always know what changed, but they sense the caution, the slightest stiffness where you used to be loose. You are rich in ways your old self would worship, and you are tired in ways your old self wouldn't believe. You can't take days off without consequences. If you disappear for a week, your metrics sag. If your metrics sag, your deals soften. If your deals soften, your team gets nervous, so you keep going. You streamline, you systematize, you turn creativity into a calendar. You turn personality into a deliverable. You catch yourself thinking of your life in content terms. That dinner would be a good story. That argument would be a good clip. That breakdown would do numbers. And for a moment, you miss the old quiet, the old zero, the old invisibility that tasted like freedom. One night you end stream and don't raid anyone. You don't want to pass your audience to another room. You just want silence. You open your DMs and see a message from a small streamer you've never heard of. They say, "I started because of you. I got my first regular today." It was just one person, but it felt like everything. You stare at it longer than you should, because you remember that feeling perfectly. The first yo, the first sub-alert that was too loud, the first raid that made your hands shake. You type back something simple, something true. Keep going, protect your life. Don't let the numbers become your mirror. Then you close the laptop. Somewhere, in a small bedroom lit by a single monitor, someone is hitting go live to a room of 0 people. They sit up straighter anyway. They say chat anyway. They try anyway. They have no idea what they're signing up for. They think the dream is attention. They don't know the dream is being seen, and the cost is never being unseen again. They will learn. They always do. And the cycle continues.